All righty, here we are. I know we're late, folks. Do not blame the messenger. Couldn't do anything about it. Don't know what is happening with the computers here. But one thing is for sure that we're going to get on the air here. And if we don't have any commercials or any other bumps or anything else, that's fine. We're going to get on the air and get some stuff done for you. So welcome to the Race Day Show a little bit later than usual. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital, Las Vegas, Nevada. Over the YouTube streaming network, of course, the South Point streaming network at YouTube, and the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas on Las Vegas Boulevard. We welcome you to the show. Our websites are working, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. The iPhone apps are working. Google apps are working. All the phone apps are working. They're doing fine. And, of course, our radio station here in town, our anchor radio station, has been waiting as we were to get this thing rolling. So we're over the air on our local radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And hopefully we're still on all the podcasting as well. Seems to be there's an internal problem here with the computer here at the station. But we're on YouTube, I can see, etc. And all of you chatters out there that think I didn't wake up, I've been here for almost an hour waiting to get this thing on. So here we go. We welcome you to the show. All right. Taking a look, there is a situation. There was a situation, I should say, with the weather around Kentucky Downs. Now, late yesterday afternoon, Kentucky Downs put out a warning on X. It sent out a posting on X that said they could be canceling the races today because of a predicted storm that was supposed to go over the area where obviously the racetrack is. Remember, Kentucky Downs doesn't have a synthetic track. It doesn't have a dirt track. It doesn't have an alternate track. It has that one big, beautiful turf course. And as you know, if it starts raining hard on turf courses, they get soggy, they get slippery, and they get dangerous. So that is why they put out that warning yesterday. They put it out yesterday afternoon, that because of the predicted storm, the line of the storm that they predicted was going to go over Kentucky Downs, they were possibly going to cancel the races today. However, this morning, they put out another post. And unbelievably, we double-checked this. The post said the turf course is firm. So either that storm didn't make it over the racetrack, or that turf course is a miraculous turf course that can get firm overnight. In any case, right now they say the turf course is firm. They do say there is some storms in the area, but for the most part, and for right now, this very moment, it's still a go today at Kentucky Downs, which has that big, huge program that includes 4 $2 million races, two $2.5 million races on the 6 stakes race schedule there. One of those races is a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in. And since we don't have the possibility for any commercials, etc., just remember, you know our sponsors, so we don't have to go into that. Los Alamitos and, of course, South Point and Tunnel Towers, which you hopefully are making an $11 donation per month to. Anyhow, while they work on the computers back here, we're on the air for you. And for the most part, what you want to do, what we want to do for you, we're going to do. And so we're going to go over the races at Kentucky Downs with Jonathan Hardoon in just a moment. Don't forget, Del Mar has 3 stakes races today, including the Grade 1 debutante for the 2-year-old fillies, which Bob Baffert is loaded in. We talked about that already. Colonial Downs has 6 stakes races today that include the Old Dominion Derby. And so the Louisiana Downs has the Super Derby today. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go over when we go through the menu, I'll go over the menu, and as we get to the tracks that have the stakes races you should know about, we'll stop and give you a little bit of a look into those tracks. But I did want to mention one thing, and that is the handle in August, okay? The handle across the country in August. The wagering on U.S. races, $1,204,428,838. Compared to last year, that's up 3.13%. 3.13%. However, the actual races that were conducted in the month of August, 3,181, were less than 2024, almost a little over 1.5% less. And the U.S. starters, 22,862, which were 1.85% less than last year, but yet the handle was higher. However, year to date, from the first of the year to the end of August, wagering on U.S. races was $7,948,363,476. It's still down throughout the year through August. It's still down 1.73%. And so that has a lot to do with the fact that the average field sizes, although they're up almost 0.7%, the average wagering per race was also up 2.5%, and this is year to date. So we got to be catching up along the way to get to a positive by the end of the year. All righty. I'm going to give you the racing menu. We're going to do the racing. No, I'll give you the results from yesterday real quick at Del Mar, and then we'll go to the racing menu. Okay, Del Mar yesterday. Peter Miller had a big day. He won 3 races. He won the first race with Mr. Silvera at $7.40. Kazuchi Kimura got his first win of the day in the second race with Carla Gaines trainee, paying $33.40. And then in the third race, the winner there, KG Burglar, paid $23.80. Was 18-1 when they loaded into the starting gate, and by the time he won the race, he went down to 10-1. Again, 18-1 to 10-1 on a horse. Paid $23.80. Enough said on that. Fourth race gave Peter Miller his second win of the day. Umberto Rispoli aboard Case Hit, paying $10.40. And then the fifth race, Yusha with Juan Hernandez for Bob Baffert, paid $3 even as the big favorite there. But the damage was done in the second and third races yesterday at Del Mar as far as the early pick 5 was concerned. The early pick 5 paid $19,171.70. Big bucks for a $23 and a $33 horse in that first 5 sequence. All right, then we go to the Smokin' Stakes. That was the feature of the day, the 7th on the card. And Max Chow, when Armando Ayuso won for Steve Knapp, paying $16.60, outrunning Thirsty Rebel and Saul Elliott, who finished third. The big favorite in the race, Sammy Davis, never hit the, did not. Wait a minute, we're getting you over the air there. Hold on a second there. Okay. I'm getting a direction from 2 people here. Okay, Max Chow won the I'm Smoking, Steve Nat, 1660 there, outrunning Thirsty Rebel and Saul Elliott. Again, Sammy Davis, the big favorite, off the board. And then in the 8th and final race, Peter Miller got his 3rd win of the day. Kazuchi Kimura got his 2nd win of the day. And that was a pick on the show by both Jonathan Hardoon and Jerry Jackowitz. Jonathan Hardoon and Jerry Jackowitz both landed on We the Hobby. We the Hobby won the last race for Peter Miller's 3rd win, Kazuchi Kimura's 2nd win, paying $8.40, bet down from the 4-1 morning line. Somebody had the pick 6. The pick 6 paid $115,901.40 for the pick 6 at Del Mar. All right, we are going to go to the menu of racetracks available today now. In the Racebook simulcast centers and racetracks around the country, want to remind you that the first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas coming out to the books today to play the races, these will be the first post times rolling out in the books. We are in the Pacific time zone. For those of you who are not in the Pacific time zone, adjust to it so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? Now we're going to start out with giving you the weather here in Las Vegas right now. It's 72 degrees. We're going to get up to 93, 72, and getting up to 93 today. As far as the rest of the country is concerned, the only thing that we're really concerned about is that front that's going over Kentucky that keeps us wondering about Kentucky Downs. But right now they say track's firm and it's a go. As far as the rest of the country, Southern California is going to be 89 degrees, and the highest temperature again in the nation, of course, is Phoenix, Arizona at 99. As far as the weather is concerned, as I say, the only weather conditions that may affect racing today is at Kentucky Downs. So here's the menu of racetracks available today. Colonial Downs has 10 races. They got 6 stakes races. The Kitten's Joy will be the 5th race for 2-year-olds on the turf. Favorite in there is Jutland with Paco Lopez. The 6th race is the Colonial Cup, 1.5 miles on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Truly Quality is the 3-to-1 favorite there of the field of 8. The 7th race will be the Rosie's Stakes for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Rogue Legend is 5-2 in that race, the favorite there with Kendrick Carmouche, who's out there today at Colonial Downs. The 8th race is the DeHaas Stakes at 5.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Witty is the big favorite there at 2-1 on the morning line. Then you have the $250,000 Old Dominion Oaks for 3-year-old fillies at 1 1/8 on the turf. With a field of 10 there before any scratches, Evershed is the 2-1 favorite there with Danielle Centeno aboard. And then the $500,000 Grade 3 Old Dominion Derby at 1 1/8 on the turf for 3-year-olds is the 10th and final race there at Colonial Downs. A field of 9, and the 9-5 favorite in the race is World Beater with Jamie Torres aboard. World Beater, the favorite in the Old Dominion Derby. First post time at Colonial Downs is set at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. at Colonial Downs. And I do believe they have a pick 6 carryover there. Regular pick 6 carryover, $2,006. $2,006 in the carryover there at Colonial Downs. All right, the next up is Laurel Park. Laurel Park has 8 races. The feature there today is the Twixt Stakes at 1 mile for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, a field of 10. Ragtime Bell is the 7-2 favorite with Mr. Russell aboard there. First post time in 9:10 at Laurel Downs and Laurel Park, I should say. And pick 6 jackpot there is $893. Small jackpot there at Laurel. First post time is at 9:10. Kentucky Downs is a go. They say right now they say the turf course is firm, so we're going to hold them to it right now. First post time is 9:30 today at Kentucky Downs. Big races. The $2 million Ladies Marathon Invitational at 1 5/16 miles on, obviously, the turf. 11 go to the post in that race. And the favorite, believe it or not, is 7-2, and that is Spanish Eyes with Ben Curtis aboard. The $2.5 million Grade 3 Mint Millions Invitational at 1 mile for 3-year-olds and up is the 7th race. 13 are entered before any scratches. And the morning line favorite in that race at 4-1 as Laganos with Jose Ortiz aboard. The $2 million Gun Runner is 1 mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. That's the 8th race on the card. 16 are entered in that race. And the morning line favorite in the race at 4-1 is Namaron with Flavian Pratt aboard. The 9th race is the $2 million Grade 2 Music City at 6.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. A field of 16 are also entered in that one, and the morning line favorite at 3-1 is She's So Spicy with Ired Ortiz Jr. aboard. The $2 million Grade 1 Franklin Simpson at 6.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds is the 10th race on the card. Another 16 are entered in that race, and the morning line favorite in that event at 7-2 is Spiced Up with Junior Alvarado. And then the Grade 2 $2.5 million Kentucky Turf Club Cup Invitational, the Turf Cup Invitational at 1.5 miles for 3-year-olds and up, sees a field of 11 before any scratches. And the favorite in that race at 4-1 is Grand Sonata with Tyler Gaffleone. That race is a Breeders' Cup win and you're in. Big day of racing at Kentucky Downs. And a first post time at Kentucky Downs today is set at 9:30. 9:30 there. We're going to go over those races with Jonathan Hardoon in just a moment. Belterra Park is next. Belterra Park has 8 races. Their first post time is at 9:35. And then after that, we have Delaware Park, 8 races at Delaware Park. Pick 5 carryover at Delaware Park, by the way. Pick 5 carryover is $14,767. First post time, 9:45 at Delaware Park. Monmouth Park First post time for 9 races at Monmouth Park today is set at $9.50. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover, $13,716. $9.50 first post there. Gulfstream Park's first post time is also at $9.50. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover, $58,056. 11 races. Couple of the Florida Stallion Series stakes races. The Desert Vixen for 2-year-old fillies at 6 furlongs is the 8th race. 8-5 favorite there is Linen Lou. And then the Dr. Fager for Colts and Geldings 2-year-olds at 6 furlongs is the 10th race. And the 8-5 favorite in that one is Squire. And the first post time for 11 races at Gulfstream is set at $9.50. Woodbine, north of the border, they have 11 races, a couple of stakes races there. The $250,000 Wonder Wear Stakes is the 4th on the card at 1.16 for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. 5 go to the post. Big 4-5 favorite there is No Time with Pierre Moran aboard. And then the $150,000 Grade 3 Singspiel at 1 3/8 on the turf for 3-year-olds and up is the 10th on the card. 6 go to the post in that one. 9-5 favorite is Haunted Dream with Rafael Hernandez. Woodbine's carryovers, Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $51,948. The Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $52,091. And our first post time at Woodbine is set at 10:05. 10:05 at Woodbine. Del Mar gets into the final 2 days of their meeting. Today's first post time for 11 races is set at 1:30. They've got 3 stakes races today at Del Mar. They'll roll out like this. The 6th race is the Del Mar Debutante for 2-year-old fillies at 7 furlongs, a field of 7 in that. Explora is the 8-5 favorite with Juan Hernandez aboard. Himika, I should say, is the close second choice at 2-1 on the morning line with Kazuchi Kimura. They're both trained by Bob Baffert. Then the 7th race is the Del Mar Juvenile Fillies on the turf for 2-year-olds at 1 mile on the turf again. 13 are entered in that race. And the morning line favorite in that event is La Vela Lumiere, 7-2 on the morning line with Kazuchi Kimura. And then the John Maybe Stakes is the 9th race on the card on the turf. Fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up at 1 1/8. 9 go to the post in that one before scratches, and the 5-2 favorite in that one is Medoro with Umberto Rispoli. 11 races today at Del Mar. First post time is at 1:30 at Del Mar. Louisiana Downs has 8 races. Their big feature today is the Super Derby. It's the 7th race on the card at 1 1/8 for 3-year-olds, a field of 7 in this one. And the favorite there is Instant Replay at 6-5 with Tim Thornton aboard. That's the Super Derby, the 7th race at Louisiana. First post time is 1:35 there at Louisiana Downs. Emerald Downs has 8 races. Their first post time is at 1:50 at Emerald Downs today. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $37,020. Again, first post time is at 1:50. Prairie Meadows has 12 races, 5 quarter-horse trials for 2-year-olds, and then 7 thoroughbred races. The thoroughbred feature is the Bison Strides Mile. That's the 11th race on the card. Prairie Meadows has a first post time of 2:30 at Prairie Meadows. And their first post time again at Prairie Meadows, again, is at 2:30 this afternoon. Canterbury Park has 11 races, 3 quarter-horse stakes races, and 8 thoroughbred races, 6 of which are stakes races. They're the big races there, the Distaff Turf, the Distaff Sprint, the Turf Championship, the Futurity, the Debutante, the Sprint Championship, all in the thoroughbred stakes races, and, of course, again, 3 quarter-horse stakes races as well. First post time at Canterbury Park today is set at 3:10 at Canterbury Park. And then we have Remington Park. They have 8 races at Remington. First post time is at 4 p.m. And then we wrap it up at Charlestown. Charlestown has 8 races, and their first post time is 4 p.m. with a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $6,877. That's the racing menu for today. Now, with any further ado, a man who's been patiently waiting, Jonathan Hardoon. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Ralph. You're the man with the patience. You had to go through all that abuse.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people think that when you're the guy that they're watching on the air, then any of the problems is mine. Believe me, I'm a computer neophyte. Turning on a computer is a big deal to me. So whatever the computer problems were here, I had no idea of how to solve it. That's for sure. All right, what's the deal here with Kentucky Downs? You got the same notices that I did. They're on, they're off. The track is firm, but there were clouds coming through. What the heck's the deal there?
And yesterday, supposedly, they had 1.5 inches of rain, but they're still calling it firm to start. And they're expecting rain at 11 a.m. for about an hour or 45 minutes to an hour. So hopefully it's not too heavy. And, it's an interesting turf course. I guess if it gets soft, it'll be more like a European turf course. But they're running on it, so they have no choice. It's either that or cancel or postpone the races, I guess.
Well, we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars in purse money, and all the horses that are going for them are expensive handicap and stakes horses. So let's hope everything goes out fine. We'd like to get winners there, but we want to cross our fingers to make sure the horses and the jockeys get over that track without any, just in good shape, without any incidences at all. And all I got to say about this is if they do run on the turf there, it'll be interesting to see how they handle not only the going that may not be as firm as it normally is, but also the actual course configuration and how the jockeys handle that as well, because they're going for big bucks. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over those races and take a look at it. I don't expect you to give me picks in all of them, but you can give me an overall if you want to. I know you have a Kentucky Downs sheet available today as well. And, of course, there's 6 stakes races, but there's 12 races overall, so it's still a value to get your sheet today. But looking at the first of the stakes races, that's the 6th race on the card, is the Ladies Marathon Invitational at 1 5/16 mile on the turf for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. I got to ask you, as well as I would ask Jerry if he was doing these races at Kentucky Downs, but you, because you are. When you get these weird distances, like 1 5/16, how do you guys manage to do that with your speed figures? Because that's not a normal distance.
No, you got to try to find races where they ran in the past, marathon distances for the most part, and a lot of them that ship there have run at marathon distances, and that's probably besides obviously the purses, but that's why they ship there, because they run distances here that they run nowhere else, or certainly in very few other races during the year.
All right, so this race is at 1 5/16, and you can tell by the morning line, whoever's doing that morning line, that they believe this is a wide open and competitive field. I mean, Spanish Eyes is the favorite. I mean, when you get a 7-2 favorite, a lukewarm at that, you know that it's a wide open event. And, you got the top jockeys there. Jose Ortiz is riding Maiwa. You got Flavian Pratt on a horse that's 15-1, Boss Lady Bailey. How do you see this race?
Well, we were talking about it the other day, Ralph. I like horses that have run at that meet and have come back on short turnarounds, and 2 horses fit that profile here. Number 6, Delphi, ran on August 28th, winning by 2 for trainer Brad Cox. She's listed at 6-1. Yeah. Number 8, Mawa, also ran on August 28th, winning her race by 7 lengths for trainer Joe Sharp, and she's listed at 4-1. So no matter what you do, those are 2 horses that you absolutely must use. I went to Delphi because she was 6-1.
Okay. So we got number 6 Delphi and number 8 Maiwa that you would have to build. You would have to build some bets around. Correct.
Correct.
All right. The $2.5 million Grade 3 Mint Millions Invitational at a mile for 3-year-olds and up. Now this is a field of 13, and we don't have any scratches yet. I'll try to see if there's any listed out there yet. But in this race, again, a wide open affair, at least by the morning line makers assessment. In this race, your morning line favorite is at 4-1, breaking from post 13, and that is Laganos with Jose Ortiz.
Yeah, and you talk about horses for courses, Ralph. Number 1, Goliad, an 8-year-old gelding from the Dick Mandela barn. 2 wins here last year, both within 6 days. Yeah. Exactly what we were talking about. So obviously this horse likes this course. Flavian Pratt rides. He's ridden this horse in the past and has won on him. Last year, 2 wins in 6 days, and now he's obviously was pointing for this spot. I like number 1, Goliad.
All right, number 1, Goliad in the race, and with all of that said, that horse is not the favorite. The favorite at 4-1 is Laganos. I mean, how do you see Laganos there?
I mean, Laganos obviously has a chance. He's like other horses in the race, but the favorite is no better than anyone else, in my opinion.
All right, and we got Spirit of St. Louis in the race at 6-1. Brilliant Birdie is at 8-1. These are a lot of horses that we have seen compete this year overall. That's for sure. Looks like maybe the trip in this race might be the difference in winning and losing.
Well, I'm taking Pratt in the rail, so that's
Yes.
probably a good idea, right?
Yes, yeah. Pratt's a good idea, that's for sure. All right, the $2 million gun runner at a mile for 3-year-olds sees an overflow field of 16 in that race. I'm looking at the scratches right now, and we have no scratches in either the 6th, 7th, or 8th at the moment. So the 8th race is still intact. We'll wait and see later what happens. But in this race, the morning line favorite in the race is at 4-1, and that is Namron with Flavian Pratt. That also breaks from the rail.
Yeah, I like New Century in here. This horse likes the distance, 2 for 4 at the distance. Irad Ortiz, the Brendan Walsh barn has started to pick it up the last couple of days there. 5-1 in the morning line. I like number 7, New Century.
Okay, and in that race, as I say, a wide open event as it is. Rolando's in there with John Velasquez at 6-1. You got Clever again with Jose Ortiz at 8-1. Frankie Dettori, who I think is still the leading rider there, and certainly a guy who's really done well at Kentucky Downs, especially this year when he won multiple stakes races the other day there. He's sitting on a horse at 30-1, Reach for the Rose. So if you're looking for a jockey who may be hot, 1 and 2, knows how to negotiate that track, you might want to take a look at that horse as a long shot to put in, the gimmicks.
Why not? He won 4 races, I think, last Sunday. So, like you said, he certainly knows what he's doing there.
All right, and that is the gun runner, the 8th race. We go to the 9th race now, the $2 million Music City at 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. We do have a scratch there. Number 16, Hashiana, the French bred horse, Hashiana, the 16 is out. And that'll leave 15 in the race. Still a wide open event. Again, another wide open event, but at least this one has a morning line favorite of 3-1. And that is She's So Spicy with Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard. And then you have Kilwin at 4-1 with his brother Jose. They'll be breaking next to each other post 9 and 10 respectively. Frankie Dettori has a 5-1 there with Tabit. And Flavian Pratt sits on a 9-2 shot, Classic Q. How do you see this?
Well, you're going to have at least 3 more scratches because the 13, 14, and 15 are all also eligibles there. I like the number 3 horse in here, Classic Q, a 3-year-old filly from the Marcassi barn. Pratt takes the mount. This horse cuts back in distance, been routing, now sprints. I think that's got to be big. When a horse cuts back in distance on that course, has to be a plus. 9-2 on the morning line. I like number 3, Classic Q.
All right. And then we go to the 10th race, which is the $2 million. It gets old. You sit there and say $2 million like it's like a $10,000 claimer.
Monopoly money.
I know, but it's just amazing. The $2 million Grade 1, Franklin Simpson at 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds. Again, a field of 16. We don't have any late scratches there yet. But in that race, the morning line favorite, 7-2, is spiced up with Junior Alvarado.
Yeah, I like the 4 in here, Dream On. I think Marcassi's going to have a big day. This horse is 4 for 10 lifetime, and I think she's going to get a good trip in here. Another one cutting back in distance, coming out of a mile race, cuts back to 6.5 furlongs. I think it gives this horse an edge.
Now, Jonathan, let me ask you this. Morning line maker making spiced up at 7-2. Looking at those past performances, why did you think he made him the lukewarm favorite at 7-2?
Well, she won 2 in a row coming into this race, so she goes for her 3rd straight win. She's lightly raced, only 4 career starts. She has 2 wins. I guess listen, let's be honest. The morning line maker there, not the best in the world, but it's a tough place to make a morning line, Ralph. You got horses coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
You got horses running at distances they've never run at before, so we're going to cut them some slack. But I think that's a bit of a short price, to be honest with you.
All righty. And then we get to the 11th race. Again, don't want to take this, just flippant, but it's a $2.5 million race. The Grade 2 Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational. This race is a Breeders' Cup win and you're in race. Only 11 are going to the post in this one. No late scratches in this race. And so far, the morning line favorite, in the race. At 4-1 is Grand Sonata with Tyler Gaffalione aboard. But if you look at the morning line, indication of how tough this race really is, you have an 8-1, a 5-1, a 6, an 8, a 6, and a 9-2 beyond that 4-1 favorite in the race.
Actually, this is going to be one of my 2 official radio plays, and I love the number 6 horse in here, Grand Sonata. This horse won this race last year, Ralph. This horse likes this course. Tyler Gaffalione, who's listed to ride, I think, in Southern California, is listed on this horse. I would say he's probably going to stay here, even though he was supposed to ride a Baffert baby. But that being said, I like number 6, Grand Sonata. By the way, in that race, number 3, Tony Port, ran at Kentucky Downs on August 30th. He's coming right back. He's listed at 10-1, so he fits that
profile.
That race over the track at the meet.
I can say this: Tony Port, if I remember correctly, in that race was menacing for the win in that race. It was right at the finish, right? I mean, didn't lose the race by much.
That was only a 2 1/16 mile race.
That's right.
He's coming back today to 1.5 miles.
Yeah, he's shortening up to 1.5 miles. All right, so your official play for the radio and TV show, by the way, your official play for race day is in this 11th race at Kentucky Downs, number 6, Grand Sonata, right?
Correct.
All right. Let's get to Del Mar.
That about does all 6 of them, Ralph.
Yeah, that does the 6 of them. We'll go to Del Mar. I'll just take a quick thought on the Del Mar debutante from you, loaded with Baffert and a couple of O'Neill horses in there.
Yeah, Explorer ran huge first time out. If she repeats that race, she's going to be very tough in here. And I think, listen, it's Baffert, and more Baffert, but that's the horse that looks clearly the best.
I can say by looking at the 11 race card today at Del Mar, Jonathan, that it really looks like a very competitive card for the last day of racing, that's for sure. And we'll get your official pick at Del Mar, and we'll finally let you go, my man.
By the way, I made a mistake. Gaffalione rides tomorrow at Del Mar, so today he will be at Kentucky Downs. So my mistake, let's correct it. Let's look at the 3rd race today, Ralph, a mile on the turf for maidens. And the number 7 horse in here, Still Bulletproof. Interesting horse. This is a horse that made his first start in Florida. It's a Calbred, and Patrick Biancone, who hasn't started a horse at the meet, the home meet, waits to ship this horse in. Well, he's a Calbred, and he's meeting Calbreds today. Antonio Forsute takes the mount, 3-1 in the morning line. Number 7, Still Bulletproof, wins today's 3rd race out at Del Mar.
The 3rd race, as you say, is a maiden race. This is a maiden race for 2-year-olds at a mile on the turf, and this horse, because of that start in Florida, qualifies to be
eligible.
Ship and win.
He's eligible for a ship and win.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he's eligible for a ship and win. The 7, Still Bulletproof. Antonio Fresu aboard for Jonathan Hardoon's pick after a couple of nice winners yesterday, Jonathan. You were right on the mark.
We're on a bit of a roll. We had 2 winners on Thursday and a winner yesterday, so let's keep it going, Ralph.
You better believe it, my man. So in the 3rd race, we'll keep the mojo going with the 7-horse 7 in the 3rd race at Del Mar. Look, Jonathan has a complete sheet of handicapping for Kentucky Downs. Now, we know I went over 6 races, but remember, there's a dozen races today at Kentucky Downs, and each one of those races poses a chance for good payoffs. So make sure you get Jonathan's sheets there for Kentucky Downs, and he's got one for Del Mar, right?
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe. Be well. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, my man. We have been told by our technicians here that we're going to just continue without any commercials. So that's the good news for you. So we got started a little bit late, but you don't have to worry about the commercials. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you Rich Ang's place. Now, we remember Rich Ang told us yesterday that he would not be with us over the weekend. He has family obligations out of town. So Richie gave me one play today. It's at Del Mar. He decided not to give a college play out because he didn't do as much work on it as he thought he should. So he has a sheet for Del Mar, a complete sheet at Del Mar, handicapping sheet for Del Mar today. And his pick comes at Del Mar. It comes in the 9th race, the John Mabee Stakes, at a mile and 1/8 on the turf for fillies and mares 3 years old and up. In this race, he likes number 4, Medoro. Now, this horse is 5-2 on the morning line with Umberto Rispoli aboard. Number 4, Medoro, is Rich Eng's play in the 9th race today at Del Mar. And, of course, he has the rest of his plays, a full sheet for Del Mar right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. Now I want to bring in John Lindo. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm trying to hang in there without any commercials, but that's okay. We got on late, so the listeners and the viewers deserve no commercials. So we're going to continue to roll on here. Looks like you're in the press box at Del Mar today.
Yeah, getting ready to do our show, Thoroughbred LA, at 9 o'clock, and just getting the other stuff done and watching horses work at Del Mar last weekend here of racing. So I got to take it all in while I can.
Now, the weather there is fine, I would say.
Yeah, it's overcast right now, but we finally got a break from some of that humidity yesterday, and it was really nice. So I'm anticipating same stuff for today, probably mid-70s with a sea breeze.
Now, John, your Lindo report today, you have 2 full sheets. You have the pick 6 races at Kentucky Downs. That's one Lindo report covering those races, etc. And a suggested pick 6 in that starts in the 7th race today at Kentucky Downs. So you miss one of the 6 stakes races on that sheet. But from the 7th race on down to the last race, you have selections there, the Lindo report. And then you have another separate Lindo report for all of the races at Del Mar, all 11 races at Del Mar. Now, both Lindo reports, of course, the one at Del Mar has selections in each race, a suggested late pick 4, all the goodie information. That includes the ship and wins. That's important. That Lindo report, along with the Kentucky Downs edition, is available right now, free of charge, exclusively in only one place, and that is here at the South Point in the South Point Racebook. Complimentary, because they love horse players here. Taking a look at anything at Kentucky Downs, I know that we went over all those races with Jonathan, but I know you might have a thought or two on any or some of the races at Kentucky Downs.
Well, I've got one radio play there, so let's go there first.
Okay.
And that's in the Gunrunner Stakes, race number 8. And John mentioned the horse I like. I like number 7, New Century, cutting back to the mile. I think basically a one-turn mile is going to be right up this horse's alley. I love the blinkers on. He's a horse that has a lot of ability, but it's kind of running spots a little bit. I think it'll help him focus in that long stretch to make his run. I read Ortiz aboard at 5-1 on the morning line. I think number 7, New Century, runs a good one today. He'll be one of the singles for me in that pick 5 sequence or pick 6 sequence, whatever you want to play there.
Yeah, and I want to also remind everybody in that the pick 6 is a dollar-based bet. Is that right at Kentucky Downs?
That's a dollar-based bet, 15% takeout, yes.
All right, and so, yes, the 7 is one of your singletons on that. You framed a pick 6 ticket, but people obviously can bet the pick 5 instead, right?
Yeah, I did that just to cover as many of the stakes races as I could today on the back half of the card.
Well, you have your selections for those races there. Did you at all take a look at the only stakes race that's not on your sheet, and that's the Ladies Marathon Invitational, the 6th race on the card?
I did not. No, I had a lot going on, and if I wasn't going to publish it, I didn't want to get there and do all the time necessary to get it done. So I just left it alone, and I'll probably look at it later on today.
Well, all I can tell you is that race there, the morning line favorite in the race, and we have mentioned it before, is 7-2. So it's a wide open event, that's for sure. All right, let's get to Del Mar. Del Mar now. We got 11 races there, 3 stakes races on the card. And in this race, of course, the Del Mar Debutante is the big race for the 2-year-old fillies. It's the 6th race on the card. 7 go to the post. Bob Baffert's got 4 in this race, does he not? Or is it tomorrow that he's got?
He's got Explorer, Hamika, and Bottle of Rouge. So he's got 3 in here. He's got 4 in the Futurity tomorrow.
Okay, so he's got 3 in there, but his 3 horses in this race are morning line at 8-5, 2-1, and 5-1. They're the first 3 favorites on the board, and it looks like he's gonna wind up beating himself.
Well, it looks like it. I mean, we saw Hamika win the Sorrento by daylight, and then Explorer came out and broke her maiden like a really nice filly, and the way she galloped out, I think she's going to love the 7 furlongs today. She drew the rail, which is the bad part, but you've got to think with the 2 Bafferts there in post 1 and 2, they're not going to hook up. We'll see which one goes to the lead, but they're the ones to beat in there. If you're trying to beat the Baffert juggernaut, maybe Lawali for Mark Latt, who finished up in a sprint going shorter like a filly that wants to go further, and she's trained really well and draws post 6 out of 7. She's a good outside box. She's got the best chance to beat the Baffert horses today.
The 7th race is the Del Mar Juvenile Fillies on the turf, and it's a wide-open affair for 2-year-old fillies on the turf. So it's going to be a wide-open scrum, I think. I think when at the end of the race, you're going to say the horse that got the trip won the race.
Yeah, I agree. You know, so many of these fillies are trying 2 turns for the first time. Some of them are trying turf for the first time. It really depends. You know, you have a lot of fillies like the filly I picked, number 1, La Villa Lumiere, who broke their maiden at Santa Anita sprinting on the grass, and they've had no place to go since then. So it's been a while. But she broke her maiden like a filly that wants to go 2 turns. She's tactical from the rails, so she ought to get a good trip. And like you say, Ralph, that's part of the battle here, just getting the right trip. So for me, just a small lean toward La Villa Lumiere. There's a lot of fillies that could jump up in here. If you're playing the late pick 5, I would spread the race and just try and cover the race as much as you can.
All right, and then of course we'll get to your play of the day, and that is in the at Del Mar. Where are we going?
That'll be race number 8, Ralph. 8th race, number 5, Speedy Wilson. Just won a stakes race, the Real Good Deal Stakes. That was against Calbreds, but he's still eligible for the first open allowance condition, which he takes on here. Faces older horses and tries 2 turns for the first time. But he's a nice horse. The horse he beat last time came back and won already last week against Open Company. I think on the stretch out, he's got a chance to come right back and win again. 6-1 on the program. Number 5, Speedy Wilson, race number 8 at Del Mar.
8th race, number 5, Speedy Wilson. John Lendo's play for us in Del Mar. Don't forget the full sheets of that and Kentucky Downs available right now at the right here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge. Thanks a lot, John. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
We're going to wrap it up with Jerry Jackowitz standing by, who's almost on a busman's holiday here with only doing one racetrack, and that is Del Mar. Good morning, Jerry.
Yeah, it's like incredible, one racetrack. What an idea.
But you got 11 races you had to cover. Yeah, 11 races you had to cover today at Del Mar, and that's for sure. But
yeah,
we'll get right to your pick then.
Well, we'll go right to the first race, Ralph.
Okay.
By the way, yesterday We Are Hobby.
Oh yeah.
He won, but we didn't get the link ups. But don't forget, you got to make the win bet.
Got to make the win bet first. That's right. You got to make the win bet. 2 things when you give us the plays. Got to make the win bet and make sure you reverse.
Right. Anyway, we're going to the first race today. Heads in Beds really attracts my eye. Here's a little angle for you guys out there to think about. Here's a sprinter, two sprints going to a route for the first time. You'd like to think the horse is bred to go more distance than a sprint distance. And it's got a German mare. It's bred from a German mare. All the German horses are bred to go like 2 miles, 3 miles. They're bred to go very, very long distances. So we know that this horse is bred for at least 2 turns, probably go 1.5 miles, has the speed to run with sprinters. It's pretty attractive. 2 sprints to a route isn't here either. Let's take the 5. Heads in Bed, make a good win bet. Let's remember, play the 5 over the 1-2-7, reverse 1-2-7 back over the 5, add in any long shots you like. We love the 5, Heads in Beds in the first.
First post time, 1:30 Pacific time in the first. The 5, Heads in Beds for all those reasons. Link ups include 1, 2, and 7 and reverse. Get that win bet as well. Jerry J's Power Pages for the rest of the races at Del Mar. The other 10 are available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. All right. Well, I do want to apologize to the folks out there for a late start, but at least we got you everything you would normally get with a show with commercials in it. And as far as the situation, we're all at the mercy of the computers and technology these days. That's for sure. So hopefully we'll get everything squared away by tomorrow's show. But in the meantime, Jerry's got one more thing to say.
Have a great race day, everybody.